And next up, we're going to bring on actually our coworker. We've got Erin Pelicios joining us, who is the community coordinator who is spearheading the open healthware section of our work. Hey, Erin, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing well. I'm in the process of a move, so my office space is a little hectic, but I'm doing well. How are y'all?
You know, we've seen some wild spaces today,
Yeah.
so I don't think you need to
You don't
worry.
need to worry. It's really
Some people
every
have
space is beautiful.
every space is beautiful and unique. It's all special flower spaces.
Yeah, love every space.
Thanks.
Yeah. So we were going to talk a little bit about where we're at with the Healthware initiative. So we're 1 year in.
Yeah, it's been so awesome. There's been so many projects and collabs and community convenings around open healthware. And yeah, we're a year in and just kind of chugging along. I can give a kind of a little update of what I've been working on with the team in the last few months or so.
That'd be great.
That works. Yeah, so let's see. I started earlier this year and something that we've been working on right now. So first, open healthware, just to give a little I don't know, tiny little definition for you all. Very similar to open hardware, obviously, but it's very specific to the medical device and health equipment kind of sector. So that's something that we saw a huge need for during the COVID-19 pandemic. And so people, as y'all might have heard, started working on open source respirators and just some incredible projects. And we've really just seen a huge need for kind of just a building out of this ecosystem that's so new to people. But it's really big and it really needs a lot of support and community assistance in order to build that ecosystem. So one of the things we're working on right now is the open healthware certification process. So we've been working with different creators, people in the medical sphere, and just kind of other collaborators who are, sorry, I'm reading Alex Glow's comment. That's awesome. But yeah, sorry. But yeah, so we've been working with people to try to build out the certification, what it would look like, what people think would be beneficial, or some hiccups that might occur, just to kind of work around them and kind of build that out. We've been hosting mini sessions with different folks in the open healthware community to just get feedback on a lot of different projects. We're building out an education resource guide because within all of these sessions, something that kept coming up with our international groups, with our US-based groups, kind of just every group that has come through these sessions in the conference has said there's a huge need for an educational component. And so right now we're working on things like an educational resource guide. So it's essentially a 20-page document just on so many different resources, from frequently asked questions about open healthware to where to find your local hacker lab and maps and stuff. So it's been a really cool project and just kind of digging deep into seeing who's working on all of this awesome stuff. But yeah, it's been really inspiring, and that's just a quick update. But we will be having our second conference. We had our first open healthware conference in New York in August, and it was awesome. And we got to hear about a lot of different projects that people are working on, and it was really inspiring to be in a room just full of people who were trying to just build out this whole new ecosystem that's really fresh and new to us, especially when people are thinking a lot about the future and how the medical world will look for us, and just being able to make it more accessible has been really awesome.
So we weren't able to be at the Healthware conference this year, so that sucks for us. But you were there. So what are some of your highlights from the conference this year?
Yeah, oh gosh, so many. So y'all know Joey, who's also part of our team. He did a wonderful talk on figuring, people kept reiterating it because it was so good. But what's your why was one of the topics, was just figuring out why do we do what we do in open healthware, in open hardware? How do we figure out what we want to do, who we are in this world? That was a really awesome highlight from our team. I was also really inspired by Ison Caro, I don't want to mess it up, but Chasen, I think, who is an artist, maker, and works at a maker lab in Texas, a college there. And she kind of just shared a lot about her work, how she mixes her student medical lab, because she works with a lot of doctors and students, and how she works that into like the art sphere. So making things more beautiful and experimenting. And I thought that was awesome. I also really liked the talk from Open Insulin, which was so cool. When I first came into the open healthware field, I didn't even like consider what open pharmaceuticals could look like, or like what that world could even be. So that was really cool. And also just, I mean, it was catered. Everyone loves free food.
Food.
Yeah. And so, yeah, being able to just like talk to people who are really inspiring while eating some chicken and rice was like really, really awesome.
So your role as a community coordinator for the Healthware initiative, like your job is to kind of like build out this community that like previously didn't exist, right? So you're trying to like find these people and like bring them in. So like who are some people who like communities that you're trying to reach, and like how can we help you reach those people?
Yeah, so honestly, there's so many different categories of groups that I want to reach. Like first there's the doctors and people in hospitals or like medical spaces who might find these healthware devices really beneficial. So that's one group of folks. And I come from reproductive health, and so kind of getting past just that niche is really awesome. So being able to just explore any kind of medical health workers, getting in touch with them has been really cool and something that we really want to do. But also, obviously, like I'm based in the US, and so like we're seeing this, and a lot of us are based in the US and Canada, and so we're seeing like a lot of need for reaching out to international communities. And so being able to connect with people who are doing incredible work in like Africa or the Middle East would be really awesome to be able to just connect with them. There's this group called OSCA, which is based out of Africa, and they're doing some incredible open source like hardware work, and just finding those groups that are just a little bit more difficult to find would be really cool. And kind of, but really just looking like anywhere. It's like medical folks, people in open healthware, people who are in open hardware who might not have considered that their item might be open healthware. But really just being able to reach like a diverse group of people. And
so these people, they should like email you, and like what should they expect? Like let's say like I want to connect you with some like, or like I have a friend who's like maybe like open hardware curious, and they email you, like how do you bring people into the fold?
Yeah, so we have kind of different projects going on right now. So there's stuff around the educational guide and resources. There's obviously the conference that'll be coming up next year. So we're looking for folks who are working on open healthware devices to, honestly, like one of the first things we do is just email me. I just want to hear about your work and about you. Like, I just want to hear people talk about themselves and kind of see where we can fit in and help. But we can do anything from like providing resources to inviting you to the conference. So there's so many different ways to get involved. So whether you need help with a project or just connecting with people from the open healthware ecosystem, which we know it's been kind of hard to find people. So I'm really just here to connect people, to bring them in, to talk about their devices. And once the open healthware certification gets set up through OSHWA, hopefully they'll also have an opportunity to certify their device.
Can you just talk a little bit about what the difference is between the healthware certification and like the regular open hardware certification?
Yeah, so that's actually something we're working on right now. So there's a few different conversations on whether like, do we need a new certification or do we just build on the open hardware certification? And it seemed that most of the community agreed that it should be a separate thing. And so right now, actually, what we're working on is like, what actually does that mean? Because as we know, for open source hardware, it's a little bit different than open healthware. So we're trying to figure out whether or not we want to like include like bombs and like manufacturer list, or like how open and transparent will it be? because a lot of concern comes around the fact that these might be used as medical devices or as research devices. So right now we're really just getting community input from people, from doctors, from creators, to actually build out what that means.
I guess there's a lot of concerns around like validation and safety, right? Like that could be like the major difference. Like the stakes might be really different if I'm like certifying my like cool dev board versus certifying like a medical device.
Totally. So yeah, just a big need for transparency and really knowing what exactly needs to be in that transparency on the certification so that everyone kind of gets the information they need to move forward with their project.
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually it's been such an interesting thing to watch grow and develop over the course of this last year. And like, I can only see more exciting things to come with this. We're really excited to be, we actually, all three of us and some of our other team members had our very first planning meeting for next year's Open Healthware Conference. So you thought that there was just the summit, but there's also the Open Healthware Conference. So
August 2026, you know, around there, or June, or July maybe.
Three potentially in any three
Any
of the months.
Those 3 summer months, maybe.
But probably sometime in late summer, we'll be looking at the Healthware Conference as well. So we're really excited to be able to like bring the community together again and get to see how projects have changed since the first year they were there.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. And it's growing. It's definitely like a growing community, even just through the last few months that I've been a part of Oshawa. It's been growing and people just keep connecting and like talking about how excited they are to be connected to this small like niche group of people. So yeah, if you're working on something, please email me, hit me up. I would love to talk about your project and how we can offer some resources or just kind of follow you along your journey of open healthware.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Erin.
Thanks for coming on and giving us a little healthware update. And yeah, make sure you reach out to Erin at openhealthware@oshawa.org if you want to get involved and figure out how maybe something you're already working on could fit into the healthware sphere.
Thanks.
Thanks.
See you soon, Erin.